So it is time, so we would like to begin the consolidated business result announcement for start today. We would like to begin by introduction of the participants. Maezawa Yusaku, the president. CFO, Yanagisawa Koji. And General Manager Saito Go. So the three will be sharing the results with you. CFO Koji Yanagisawa will be talking about the business results first, and also Maezawa Yusaku will be talking about the strategy going forward. We will be finishing at 18 o'clock. So CFO Mr. Yanagisawa, if you can begin. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yanagisawa. So if we can begin. So 2014, as of March 2014, we would like to share the consolidated business results with you for the fourth quarter. If you can start with a summary on the second page, or first page, the overview. To give you an overview, we already released a press release today as well, but the transaction value was 114.6 billion yen, which is up 19.6% year on year. And operating profit was 12.38 billion yen, which is 45.2% year on year. So we have actually surpassed the initial targets. And this is the first time that we've actually done more than 100 billion yen in transaction value. Last year we tried to hit 100 billion, but we were unable to achieve that. But this fiscal year we have been able to surpass 100 billion. In terms of operating profit, this is the highest operating profit in our history, 12.38 billion yen. So we will be talking about the operating profit margin, but it is more than 10%. In terms of in relation to the initial corporate plan, we've achieved 105.8% in total transaction value and 120% growth in operating profit. Especially operating profit has grown significantly better than we had actually forecasted. To go over the details, online shopping mall business, the transaction value was 99.2 billion yen, up 17.4%. The number of shops has increased to 621 shops. It was 492 shops as of March 2013. So the number of shops have actually steadily grown as well. And the annual number of purchasers was 3.21 million. And last year was 2.48 million. So this has also grown. What has significantly contributed to these results is that we have actually focused on creating a better website to make improvements to our website last quarter. So we have the main improvement is the significantly better search function, and also we have improved the supply of products as well. So we have been able to increase the number of unique users, and also conversion rate has also come up. That is why the transaction value has grown steadily as well. And Crown Jewel, this is our subsidiary, is handling also used products, secondhand clothing, and Crown Jewel was only 0.9 billion yen the previous term, but present term was 2.3 billion yen, so this has more than doubled. So this has also grown both in terms of supply and demand. And in terms of the purchase stock business, we have decided to actually shift the purchase stock business to consignment sales business, and we have been able to do so very well. And e-commerce consulting business, this was 15.4 billion yen transaction value. This was nearly the same figure as the initial targets. And in terms of the number of sites that we are interested with, it's 24 sites. Last year it was 25 sites, but this has gone down one site. One site decided to close down. I'm not going to mention which company, but they have decided to close down. So that's why we have 24 sites currently. But the rest of the clients have stayed with us. And the large clients, EC sites, they're actually growing. The volume is growing very well, and that is why we have been able to increase the transaction value significantly as well. In terms of profitability, operating profit margin, I mentioned earlier, was 10.8%. So last year, same period, was 8.9%, so this is a significant improvement. There are negative and positive factors. Negative factors are free shipping service, and we have actually started that we've done this for over a year now, and also we've launched a new logistic facility. So this has increased the fixed costs. But positive factors, we revised the promotion strategies. So we've been talking about how we will revise our promotional strategy. So as a result of our revisions, this has significantly contributed to the operating profit margin. So in terms of the corporate plan, I will discuss that in detail later. So I would like to skip that for the moment. We'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, and Maezawa will be talking about that later. So it's our 10th anniversary, so we hope to do even better. So let us talk about the individual numbers. We've already discussed most of the figures here, so I would just summarize. If you look at slide 3, so the gross profit was 18.8%. So transaction value, it has grown at around the same pace with the transaction value. So the gross profit has grown steadily as well. SG&A was 7.3% higher than last fiscal year. But this was we have reduced the promotional costs. We revised the promotional costs, so we've actually been able to curtail this SG&A increase. And in terms of the increase and decrease of operating profit, if you turn to page 4. So operating profit was 8.5 billion yen last fiscal year. So the gross profit increased by 55.1%, 5.5 billion. And due to the free shipping, the gross profit margin has increased by 0.2 billion. Free shipping, so we actually had the profits from the shipping before, including the fiscal results, but now we are offering free shipping, so that's not reflected in the figures now. In SG&A, this is basically intangible assets, non-fixed assets. This has decreased by 3.8 billion yen. So this is, and then in terms of promotion activities, we used 5% last fiscal year. But this year we're only using 2%. So this has contributed to a 3.4 billion to the profits. And I mentioned the logistical facility, but outsourcing expenses resulted in nearly 0.8 billion yen. And others is variable expenses due to the decline of unit price per shipment. So that's 0.2 billion yen. So that's why the operating profit finished at 12.3 billion. If you turn to slide 5, if you look at the balance sheet, the main key items here is the increase in the cost due to the new logistical facilities, and also you will see the investments has also increased because we bought out Bracket, but we actually exchanged the stocks, so that's why if you look at the shareholders treasury stocks, that has decreased as well. If you turn to page 6, cash flow. So in the operating profit, this has pushed the cash flows, and also investing in logistical facilities. And so in terms of the investment, that's minus 1,340. We have 17.7 billion in cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year. In terms of the transaction value, if we can go to the quarterly figures. So the fourth quarter, 33.5 billion. So this is up 20.4% year on year. So the fourth quarter and fourth quarter, we've actually grown very well. But over the last year, if you look at the transaction value over the last year, the purchase stock has actually gone down all the way down to 4.7% now, but the e-commerce consignment sales has actually gone up to 82%. So as we wanted to shift the purchase stock to consignment sales, so we've been able to do that. And net sales. If we can skip to slide 10, so we can look at the quarterly figures. The fourth quarter was 10.8, so that was up 8.2% year on year. Purchase stock also has come down, and also the sales from consignment business has gone up to 7.6. So the net consignment sales is actually having a more share of the net sales, and this has also improved our gross profit. We will continue to shift. The crown jewel used business will be included in the purchase stock. However, so whatever increase in crown jewel will be reflected in purchase stock, but the purchase stock business on ZOZOTOWN will become very, very small. So in terms of membership, if you look at slide 11, the number of total buyers for the year was 3.21 million. So as of the end of fourth quarter, compared to last year, it was 2.49. So we have actually increased about 700,000 buyers this year. The number of active members have also increased as well, but the guest buyers are actually growing very well. If you turn to slide 12, that's the number of shops that we have. As I mentioned, we have 621 shops as of the end of fourth quarter, and we only have 16 shops for purchase stocks and 605 are consignment sales. So this will continue to grow very steadily without any problems for the next fiscal year as well. If you turn to page 13, the member distribution, there's hardly any change here. In comparison to the third quarter, women are 58%, and the average age is 31.4, so not a significant change here. If you turn to slide 14, we have annual purchase amount and piece per active member. The purchase amount was 44,154 yen. So this has improved steadily. And the number of pieces purchased per active member is also growing well. So the growth of annual purchase piece per member is something that we're actually paying attention to, so we believe that's growing very well. Next, we have the average purchase amount per shipment and average retail price. As of the fourth quarter, the average purchase amount per shipment was 10,674 yen, which is up 0.4, which is we haven't actually surpassed the last quarter's figures for a long time. But the average retail price has come down by 3.1%. We believe that the average retail price will continue to come down a little bit, but we will probably bottom out. It will probably bottom out quite soon. The average purchase amount per shipment. So we want customers to buy many products together. This will actually improve the average purchase amount per shipment and also our shipping costs. Also, so of course we already offer the option to send products together, but we want to actually suggest to our buyers that they will buy products together or have them shipped together. So we believe that that is helping to push the average purchase amount per shipment up. We don't know if it will continue to grow, however, but we believe that it is going to bottom out soon as well. And number of shipments is grown by 18.2% year on year. So this is basically the same growth as the transaction value. So this is the 2.7 million is the highest record that we've achieved so far. So the shipping volume per device, the smartphone share is going up. It's now 52.7%, so it's more than 50% now. And it has continued to grow. Of course, whatever device people use, it doesn't really matter to us, but seeing how many people are purchasing on smartphone, we believe that more and more people will continue to purchase on the smartphone, and we also offer the new service Wear, so we want to continue to improve usability for both smartphones and PC. The operating profit and operating profit margin. So I've talked about this before. So if we can skip to page 19, SG&A. So I don't want to get into the details here, but the payroll here. So we have, as of March 2014, we have 579 employees, and we have, as of last year, we only have 480. So we have 100 more employees this year. And that is why the transaction against the transaction value, the payroll has gone up by 0.5%. Shipping, the average purchase price per shipment has gone down, and the drop of average retail price has also actually pushed this up, so slightly, but it has gone up. Promotion-related expenses, we finished at 2% as we planned. The fourth quarter, we actually did TV commercials for Wear. So we used about 1.3% against the transaction value for advertising, so approximately 1.5 billion. So the other figures are the same as the third quarter, but we do have increase in lease for the new logistic facility, which is up 1.25 billion yen. The operating profit margin for the fourth quarter is 3.7 billion. 374.8 billion, so it was up 11.2 billion. So as a result, the operating profit has improved significantly. The SG&A has shifted accordingly, so we have used 6.1 billion, and the promotion cost was 2.2%. The third quarter, fourth quarter, we launched the advertising TV commercials, so that has pushed the advertising expenses slightly up. So those are the results for the consolidated business results for this fiscal year, fourth quarter. And now we would like to talk about the business plans for this fiscal year. If you turn to slide 23, we aim to do 132 4 billion, so 15.5%, 41.7 in net sales. And operating profit 30.7 billion, so 10.7%. So these are the targets that we have in mind at the moment. The earnings per share, dividend payout, we want to maintain 35% payout. So the estimated dividends per share will be 28 yen. And if we turn to page 25, so if you look at these plans, if you turn to the mall business, so this is mainly ZOZOTOWN business. The transaction value, we want to do 114.9 billion, which is 15.8% year-on-year growth. Consignment sales, we want to do 110 billion, purchase stock 4.9. And ZOZO used, we said it was 2.8 billion this year, but we want to actually do 4 billion next year. An e-commerce consulting business, the transaction value target will be 17.5 billion won, which is a 13.5% growth. We want to actually focus on the existing brand partners. We want to improve their satisfaction level. So we're not really going to focus on acquiring new clients, but focusing on improving the services that we provide to our existing brands. The e-commerce consulting business, Source.jp Pro business, we launched quite recently. This is a service that we are offering using the bracket service. So this is a more simplified version of e-commerce consulting business. But these Source.jp figures have not been included in 17.5 billion. So the transaction value target that's written here only includes the traditional business that we've done with start today. The operating profit margin, we are targeting 0.4%. So the new logistical facility that we opened last year, this is going to be reflected for the whole entire year. Last year it was only reflected in 6 months. So in comparison to the last year's figures, the cost will increase. And this will push down the operating profit to 10.4%. Of course, it's written here, but there are other factors. We are going to be hiring 37 new graduates as well. And promotion activities, we plan to maintain around 2% against the transaction value. And we will continue to improve our website, our fulfillment, and invest in our systems. So the logistical facilities, even if we are going to incur the cost for the new logistical center for the whole entire year, we still believe that we can maintain the operating profit at 10.4%. So that is basically the description of our consolidated business results. So the President Maezawa will be speaking about the future plans. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this meeting. I know you're very busy and it's raining outside, so it's not the best weather. Thank you for coming. Thanks to everyone. We have done more than 100 transaction value, and we've done more than 10 billion in operating profits as well. So we've grown steadily last fiscal year.
僕の大好きなタモリさんの番組「笑っていいとも」が
Unfortunately, my favorite TV program, 笑っていいとも actually ended. How are you faring without our favorite TV program? I feel quite lonely now that I can't watch it every day. But the last episode I watched both programs. There were so many people who came to pay respect to Mr. Tamori, but it was a very widely known national TV program. But I want to start today something similar to this TV program that the whole nation loves. But I will try hard that ZOZOTOWN will become such a brand or such a service for Japanese people. The company was established 16 years ago, but now the ZOZOTOWN is now been available for 10 years. And you see a sticker with the number 10. There is a meaning there. If you can look at the screen. Do you know what mark this is? No one knows what this mark means, or they don't want to cooperate. Sorry. It's a peace mark. Of course, this mark is the symbol is used in all the peace movements across the world. And our corporate philosophy is sharing smiles, bringing peace to people across the world. So we wanted to use this peace mark for our 10th anniversary mark. As you can see, we erased the lines there, and we put the number 10 inside. This fiscal year, we don't know when yet, but we will be renewing ZOZOTOWN PC site as well as smartphone site as well. Simply put, it's going to be more even cooler. It's even going to be more dedicated to fashion. So if you want something fashionable, then the people will have to go to ZOZOTOWN. And ZOZOTOWN will also be more fun for the users as well. Many people are trying to enter a different field, but we want to continue to focus on fashion, and that will give us a competitive edge. Yanagi-san just mentioned earlier, but there are more users that are using smartphones. There's more than 50% of our users that are using smartphones. So websites and application, we want to actually focus on making that user experience better. And the way we sell the products, also the relationship with the brands, and the number of brands that we have. We want to focus on those areas as well, but we would like to announce our plans when the time is right. So we are planning something big, so please tune into our activities. Where we only have 2 figures to announce for where. So we've actually included these figures in ZOZOTOWN's website, but now people who use Wear can actually buy on different sites. But we don't really get the figures from people who purchase on other sites, and we only have the figures for ZOZOTOWN purchases. But we've seen that actually 200 million purchases take place per year through Wear. So this is even twice as much as other competitors, and this is growing steadily every day. And currently, we don't really charge any fees to our affiliates. So in the future, we can actually start charging affiliate fees or fees for our services. And due to our commercial that we launched at the end of March, we've had more users, and now we have more than. We've just announced that we have more than 400,000 uploads, but today it's actually surpassed 500,000. So it's growing very, very well. And we would like to announce other figures in the future.
1点ちょっとネガティブなニュースとして、
One negative news that was announced was that we've decided to stop our barcode scan service. I think it finished today. Yes.
一部のブランドさんの店頭ですとか、
So we
商業施設さんで
offered
いうと
this
パルコさんの全面協力のもと
service on Parco. They've been very cooperative, and with the other brands and all the media have actually introduced this service as well, but we've actually decided to stop this. The reason is quite simple. There wasn't that much need for this kind of service from our clients, and we weren't able to actually make this, we weren't able to create an environment where this is widely available, so we decided to stop this barcode scan service. But by stopping to offer this service, a lot of positive things have happened. Many brands have raised their hands and said that they want to participate now that we've stopped this barcode scan service. And before there were many brands before that didn't want to participate because of the issues with the commercial facilities. But now more and more brands have decided to join us because we've stopped offering the barcode scan service. So from May 1st, tomorrow, most of the brands will be able to take part, or will be taking part in this new in the wear service. So even though it may seem negative, we don't see that it's going to be any problems here. I think some media said that we were going to stop all activities with wear, but please do not do that. We've actually announced around 3 p.m. I learned how to pronounce this, but maybe I forgot how to pronounce it. But we just announced that we will be making the wear service available in Taiwan starting May 21st. We have made preparations for this. We have 10 EC sites who will be taking part, and we also have wear listas, models, celebrities, more than 40 celebrities taking part from the launch. So even from the very beginning, we have made a lot of preparations. And I just came back from Taiwan yesterday night, and I met many people, but I felt that it would do very well in Taiwan. It will be very successful. The styling tips or photographs that are uploaded in Taiwan. Does everybody have wear application on their smartphones? Thank you very much. You can also look at the contents uploaded from Taiwan as well, so you can see what kind of styling is popular, what kind of products are popular in Taiwan. But we are also making preparations in other countries as well. So we hope that in time we will be able to make these announcements for different regions. So wear or clothing, wear for connection, that will bring people around the world together. The theme is wear for connection, so we hope to make preparations to make that a reality. So that is it from myself. Q&A, please. So if we can begin the Q&A session. Please limit your questions to people who are in the market, in the industry. Please raise your hands if you have a question. Thank you very much for your explanation. My name is Yamate from Credit Suisse. I have one question. Sorry. You explained that you will be renewing the websites. You don't know when yet, but you talk about the renewal, and the CFO mentioned that fulfillment and system, you will be making investments in this area. Are these two the same or related, or are they not? And if you can tell us how much investment you will be making. So that's part one. The second question, you didn't touch on this, but the same-day delivery or the ability to actually set a date for delivery. You started this in March, but what discoveries have you made? How well is it going?
はい、ご質問ありがとう
Thank
ございま
you
す。
very much for your
ま
question.
ず、リニューアルに伴う、
In terms
フル
of
フィルや
the
システムの更
fulfillment
新
and system for renewal,
ご質問いただいた通り、リニューアル
as
に伴う
you
ものです。
said,
で、まあ、
these
特に
two
皆
are
さんご存知
related.
の通り、我々が抱える課題の一つに、
One of
在庫の
the problems that
問題があると思うん
we
ですけれ
have
ども、
is the
在
lack
庫が
of
大変です
inventory.
ね。その在庫の問題を、まあ、根本的に解決す
We
る
want to
シ
fundamentally
ステム並びにフルフィルメントの、
address this issue.
アイデアがございまして、
So, and we have
そこへの
ideas
の
for
投資を
fulfillment
予定してい
and
ます。
to alleviate this issue.
僕
So
は
this is the
手元に
investment
来
we
まし
will
たけ
be
ど、言わな
making.
くていいと思います。
But I don't want to mention the figures. It's not very big. So if you look at page 13, you have the mention that the system investment in terms of high access periods. When you have high access, you will be, it says here that you will be making improvements to make sure that the site runs smoothly, even in high access periods or times.
ここはもう年がら年中ハードの増強を図って対応してい
We
るとこ
are
ろがありますの
actually
で、
adding hardware all the time. So this is not something that we will be changing. We actually invest in hardware all the time. But aside from that, we will be making different new investments to improve fulfillment.
一時ヤマト運輸さんの即日配送機能がストップするというか、まあ、全体的に配送機能の遅延が
Unfortunately, due to the increase in consulting, due to the increase in consumption tax, the shipping function in Japan the shipping function in Japan stopped. Yamato and other shipping companies weren't able to address the increase in consumption.
即日配送のミスがあるんだなというのが、一つ気づきとしてございます。
But aside from that, we have seen that there's a lot of quite a need for same-day delivery. So we think that we didn't realize that this many people wanted same-day delivery, but that's a new discovery that we made. My name is Yoshida from Nomura Securities. There's two questions. First question, can you tell us about where you stopped the barcode scan service? So I'm not surprised that you stopped the barcode function, but because you've stopped the barcode scan service, are you going to change your strategy for where? Could you tell us what if the strategy is now different because you've stopped offering the barcode scan services? And you will be launching where in Taiwan? You mentioned that the Taiwan, there's SNS penetration is very good, and there's a lot of Japanese fashion fans. But why did you choose Taiwan as a second market to launch? Where? And the Fashion EC site, the 10 sites that you said will be joining the launch in Taiwan, could you tell us a little bit about the 10 sites?
はい、ご質問ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much for your
ま
question.
ずバーコードスキャンを中止した
The
分野の
barcode scan
方向性について
service,
なんですが、
we've stopped that, but has that changed our
ごめんなさい、
strategy?
どういったところを
What exactly would you like to know? For example, by stopping the service, barcode scan service, what about the cost and also the staff that you had dedicated to the barcode scan function or service? And I'm sure the brands will be looking at the service differently as well. Are there any minor changes or major changes to your strategy because you've stopped offering the barcode scan service? We hardly spent any money investing in barcode scan service, and we didn't really have a staff dedicated to the barcode scan function either, so it doesn't change at all. In terms of why we chose Taiwan, it is they are very friendly. They are very much great fans of Japanese fashion, and there's a lot of Japanese fashion brands that have gone to Taiwan as well, and also Taiwanese models are very well known in Japan. So we believe that the 500,000 uploads that we already have, it will be better applied to Taiwan. And then the EC sites and also the models were the response that we've gotten from these models and EC sites in Taiwan were very quick. So that is why we decided to choose Taiwan as a second market. Can you talk about how you will be cooperating with EC sites? So we will be working closely with 10 sites. So we would need to access a database for what the Taiwanese customers are buying, what they like. So of course we need the data for products that are sold in Taiwan. That is why when we looked at the kind of products that were very popular in Taiwan, we thought that they were all available on these 10 sites that we've chosen. My name is Uruka from Goldman Sachs. I have two questions as well. I asked this question before as well last time. So the consumers that are purchasing via where? Have you analyzed the consumers? If you can share any analysis. So that is our first question. And you mentioned affiliate fees via where in the future. When will you be thinking of charging affiliate fees, or is there any timeline that you're looking at? That is the first question, sorry. And then the second question, the shipping costs. Yamato has actually started charging more for shipping. Do you think that this will affect your operating profit in the next 2 or 3 years? Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. In terms of the consumer behavior, for wear, we've actually seen that our consumers on wear is actually younger. So in their teens and early 20s. So the consumers on wear is younger than ZOZO. So actually that's actually increased the target that we have been approaching. And we don't really have any plans to monetize it yet. We're only trying to offer this service to a wider group of people, including more regions, and also the Yamato shipping costs. So we can't really talk about this in detail because it's a contractual issue. But we are very glad that they have been a long time partners, and it is a win-win situation for both parties. Thank you.
他にご質問のある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。はい、では後方の方にマイクをお願いします。
SMBC Nikko Shokin Kanamori. I have 3 questions. First, did you see any change in the consumption due to the change in consumption tax? Can you share any figures from the changing consumption tax. And the guidance for this fiscal year, 13.5% is the e-commerce consulting business growth. Last fiscal year, you've grown much higher, but why did you decide to target 13.5%? Can you talk about that? Because this fiscal year 2013, you grew by 35.7. On page 7, you've written here that the online mall business was 5 billion yen. But 5.5 billion was the purchase stock business, and maybe I didn't understand what you meant by that, but the fourth quarter transaction value growth, is it correct to understand that the transaction value growth is mainly by the new shops and not the old shops, or how do you explain this sentence here? Thank you very much for your question. In terms of the consumption tax, March, the last week in March, there was a lot of activity. But it's very difficult to calculate what percentage of people actually made a last-minute purchase. But April 1st, we saw many activities there as well. But currently, we haven't really seen any consumer behavior change, so I don't think you have to worry about the effect of consumption tax. We don't have any specific figures for what percentage, what the difference was in terms of percentage. And in terms of the guidance, there were a lot of brands who wanted to focus on their own EC sites. But we have even more requests right now, and the type of request that we received is very different now. So we want to focus on our existing clients to make sure that we fulfill their needs. So we don't really want to just focus on growth of the transaction value. We want to make sure that we have the structure in place to meet our clients' needs. And Store.jp is going to be able to address different types of needs. And the third question, CFO Yanagisawa will be answering that.
3点目の方なんですけれども、これは第4クォーターまでの累計ですね。
So this is a total number up to fourth quarter.
ちなみに第3クォーターまでの
The third quarter,
9ヶ月間では25
9 months, we did 2.57 billion. So 3.7% to 4.4% is the figure there. So that is why that's the explanation of the sentence written there.
他にご質問のある方いらっしゃいますでしょう
So
か。
if you have anybody else have any questions,
はい
any other
ではそ
questions?
の後ろの男性にマイクをお願いいたします。
I have two questions. First question, what is the number of users of Where? So there's a lot of celebrities and also shop staff and also general consumers. So I feel like there's three types of users. So celebrities and shop staff. It feels like they're doing more uploads than general consumers, but so is it more growing based on a personal use, or is it more shop or celebrity driven? Do you see that the general consumers will be making more and more uploads and it'll be more for the consumers, or is it more a tool for shop staff, which will be a higher percentage? How do you think that Where will be used in the future? The second question, one of that renewing the website is probably a very important strategy for this fiscal year. So in terms of addressing the lack of investment, will it be more brand driven, or will it be more will you be improving the user interface so that whatever the users want, that information will be immediately shared with the brand and would that help the loss of opportunity? How will you be able to address the lack of inventory? Thank you for your question. The first question about where the usership or how general consumers, how active are they? How should I explain this? Maybe many of you will look at the website and think that it's mainly just celebrities, but there are a lot of general consumers who are using it. Of course, they use Twitter. But with Twitter, they may only have 100 followers, but with Where, there's the possibility that even 100,000 people will start following you instantly. So we want to be able to feature these general consumers. So we are going to start inviting general consumers to join the ranks of Where it lists us. So there's a possibility for general consumers to become Where it lists us. And when they become Where it lists us, we want to make sure that we offer incentive so that's something that we're preparing right now. But we think that the general consumers will continue to be active. Celebrities and shop staff. So it only seems like they are active, but there are a lot of general consumers active as well then. Yes, that is correct. And in terms of the renewal of the websites, of course it will be a renewal for the brands and also a renewal of the user interface as well. So it's a renewal on both sides. And also I think how they perceive supply of inventory is one of the biggest renewals, I believe. But I can't really describe this in detail. But we're trying to create a structure, a relationship where we can actually start providing enough inventory, which will be a win-win situation for both. Can't really talk about it in detail. But the transaction value has grown significantly because the brands have decided to provide more products to you. So, but in the long run, when we see the transaction value not growing as much because of the lack of inventory, it's not going to be a problem anymore. But this is not reflected in the figures right now. The improvement in the transaction value due to the increase in supply is not reflected in our targets. 500 billion is our mid to long-term target, but we want to make sure that we hit that before long.
もう一度挙手をお願いいたします。
Thank you very much. TIW, my name is Itoi. The mall shops, it seemed like it wasn't growing as well, but it seems it improved. The growth improved. did you make any changes to help this growth, or is there any special characteristics about the new shops that joined, or have the buyers started behaving differently?
はい、ご質問ありがとうございます。
Thank you for your question.
そうですね、買い取りをさせていただいてたブランドさんたち
Purchase stock
の買い取りが終了になる関係で、そのブランドさんたちの
because the brands were not going to, because we stopped offering our purchase stock service, or we wanted to shift our brands. So brands that we used to purchase stock from, they've actually shifted to consignment, and that is because they made that shift, then figures have seemed to grow. But there's nothing else special that we've done.
他にご質問のある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。いかがでしょうか。よろしいでしょうか。それでは質疑応答はここまでとさせていただきます。
It seems that there are no questions, so this will be the end of Q&A. This is the end of the consolidated business result announcement. Thank you very much for coming.
誠にありがとうございました。なお、アンケートへのご記入をお願いいたします。
Please also answer our survey. Thank you very much for coming.